In June 29th, 2021, Sky Children of the Light was released for the Nintendo Switch. For me and many others, this was big news. I was excited to see the wonderful graphics of this game on the console, with that much better performance as well. Coming from the Android version of the game, I expected a buttery, smooth experience that would triumph over mobile users. Right? No, it's not. And I've been trying to ignore this up until now. It's almost about to be a year of Sky being available on the Switch, and there are still a handful of issues that were present day one. One of the most notorious being the performance. Now, I'm already aware that the Switch, when compared to the other big league consoles, PlayStation and Xbox, has lackluster specs, but in no way is it going to be overrun by a fruit. Let's see here. I'm going to compare the iPhone 7, which came out in 2014, versus the Switch that came out in 2017. It's said that the Switch uses a custom variant of the Nvidia Tegra X1, while the iPhone uses the Imagination Power VR. Pitting the performances of the GPUs together, there is no contest over double the performance output. It's impossible that the Switch runs the way that it does. But it can. You want to know why? Development issues. Hello everyone, I'm Pixel Dude. In this video, I'm going to be discussing a questionable decision that game company made that I disagree with. Before Sky, there were 3 games created by TTC: Flow, Flower, and, of course, Journey. This was TTC's ultimate pitch to the world, as it received Game of the Year in 2012. Now, Flower and Journey started off on the console, exclusively. After Journey's unparalleled success that year, they had to come up with a similar game that expanded upon the vague yet intriguing multiplayer aspect. This thought would eventually put Sky into development. That's great. After the wonderful success of Journey, people would undoubtedly love to have an open-world exploration game at the same level of quality. Hey, let's make Sky a mobile game. Exclusively on Apple. What? Why? You were doing so good. Why did you change the platform? Huh? Consoles are expensive and families generally only have a single piece of hardware and a few controllers. Okay, that sounds valid on paper. Here's why. Know that Sky's development started in 2012, and remember that they wanted this game to be exclusive to the iPhone. Now, why the iPhone, you may ask? To some of you, the answer may be obvious. To put it simply, Apple has a contract established with the GPU vendor ARM. Okay, weird acronym. The contract allows Apple to modify and improve the graphics cards that they receive from ARM, so long that it stays under ARM's name. Android phones don't have that kind of flexibility with the multitude of graphics vendors. Android just grabs whatever kind of graphic cards it can, as they can't modify the cards that they receive. Consequently, this creates a messy tier list for Androids that have different brands of GPUs. TTC definitely preferred the consistent graphic cards that Apple provides, so this is why Sky started on Apple exclusively. This is what I disagree with. I have a suggestion to make. You know who else provides consistent graphic cards on a device that's upgraded after a couple of years? Look, I know that they said that these consoles are expensive. I get that. And putting Sky on a mobile device means that can be played anywhere. Plus, almost everyone has a phone. There should be no argument that more people have phones versus consoles. But, no. I still think that Sky should have been a play-at-home game. On a console. Think about it. You may be able to play Sky anywhere, but where is anywhere? At a McDonald's while you're eating the pathetic cheeseburgers? On the toilet? How practical are these places, and how long would the play session be? I do know that one of the more common places to play is at school, but you still wouldn't be able to suffice the time commitment that Sky needs. Not rightfully anyways. The best opportunities to play would be on the ride to school and back home, and the cafeteria, but these areas, along with the entirety of the school, are sociable places. Or maybe they aren't. I can understand that. However, if you want to ensure that the time that you spend with your friends on Sky aren't cut short, it's best that you play it during hours where your physical self and attention isn't required to someone, such as your own home, where your console is. I don't see how you're supposed to play a game like Sky outside of your house. where there are many kinds of distractions to divert your attention. I would much rather play at home, away from all that, so that I can make the most of my time with my Sky friends. At our current year, I think it's safe to say that almost everyone has a phone. Digital communication nowadays is something you just can't refuse to use. But now, these competing phone providers are going overkill on how much we need our phones to do. Samsung reinvented the flip phone and iPhone has become the eyeball phone. Just one camera isn't enough? Well, at least they come with a significant increase in processing power and GPU. Nobody can say no to that. But on a phone? I don't think you need to play Bedrock with shaders. What games on the App Store would require such an extensive CPU and GPU? Alright. Now, I don't have much info on how well the lowest performing iPhone runs Sky. I can only say how it runs on my Samsung S8. Like shit. It runs like shit. But the S8 isn't a phone to scoff at. It's not that ancient. It came out in 2017. If the S8 can't run Sky effectively, then what phone are we expected to have? Well, you want to know something funny? TGC themselves said that they were limited by the mobile hardware and screen sizes of 2012. At this time, the latest iPhone was the 5th, a far cry from the powerful PlayStation infrastructure, but it wasn't until several iterations of stronger iPhones that they were able to improve the performance and quality of Sky. Following the date that this article was published, iPhones at the time were said to be stronger than the PlayStation 3. They were playtesting Sky on a phone stronger than the PS3! If they were playtesting Sky on such powerful iPhones, then that means they did next to nothing to compensate for weaker devices. Because apparently, we're supposed to have phones stronger than the PS3 in order to play Sky with the proper performance. And that's not just me speaking out of my ass. I'm saying that because it runs like hot garbage on my S8 and Switch. DGC tried to avoid the issue of Sky being exclusive to one big league console, but managed to recreate that same issue on mobile devices by making it so that it only boasts acceptable performance on Apple products. And when Sky finally came to the Switch, it doesn't even outperform the Apple version. Not even close. I have footage of this game running on both Switch and Apple to give you an idea of how polarizing this difference is. Just take a look. This is not a joke. Apart from the slight JPEG damage I added to the left video, I kid you not, the frame rate is unedited. I'll even reveal the full picture and say that this issue does resolve itself. It's good that it's not always like that, but it will always run worse than an iPhone. Every second a third of the game is eaten. How am I not supposed to feel upset that a console runs this worse than a mobile device? For a game like this, I don't want performance to be sacrificed for the sake of accessibility. It's too good to be ruined by poor frame rates. Okay, let me explain why I'm making such a fuss about performance. For all the time that I played Sky, I was never able to experience it as it should have been. About 30 FPS. I was more or less okay with it because I thought this was a near global issue. Unless you had a really beefy phone. Until I learned... No. F my Android, f my Switch. Sky was built specifically for the iPhone. End of story. But why? Why didn't TGC want Sky to sell in the PlayStation? This will forever be a weird decision to me considering that Journey got Game of the Year by a landslide. What were they scared of? My only logical assumption is that they wanted to be more marketable, and you can't get much more marketable than the mobile app store. Alright, so they want to go mobile. Cool, what's the game like? Inarguably Journey's successor! From the aesthetics to the mechanics, hell, even the level progression are all derived from Journey. Now, don't get the wrong idea, what with all this amateur criticism, I love this game. The graphics and the soundtrack are absolutely stellar. Pun intended. But I just wanted to experience it better. My phone wasn't giving me the best that Sky could offer, so I wished and I wished that this game would come to a console. And it did come to the PlayStation. God damn it, I've been working on this video for almost a year. Well, this doesn't dismantle my argument though. The problem isn't that Sky isn't on the PlayStation, but rather why wasn't that his first platform? PlayStation for sure would have given it a pretty big spotlight considering its journey with intentional online multiplayer. Without a big announcement from a big league console, this would go under my radar 2 years after Sky was released for the Android. Select Android phones at that. May 3rd, 2021 is the date that I downloaded Sky. You want to know how I finally found out about it? None of my friends at campus told me about it. Never heard about it while I was in high school. Not even an ad from YouTube. It was when TGC sponsored Cypher Den to talk about it on a channel. And yet, this game stands with over 10 million downloads. I'll say it again, I've not seen a single ad about this game until after I got it. So that means people will only see adverts about this unless they're actively searching for it or have already played it. Doesn't that sound a little redundant? Over 10 million people have downloaded this game. How is it possible that all the people that I've been with, before and after I played the game, have never heard of it? I'll tell you what everyone has heard of before. Genshin Impact. Whether or not you play this game, you know exactly what you're signing up for when you download this. But Pixel, Genshin has 5 times as many downloads as Sky. True, but Genshin is available on every device unlike Sky. And frankly, its gameplay looks far more entertaining, no offense.
Every combo, every fight, every cutscene is just click mouse 1 forever. The climbing is frustrating. The combat is boring. The puzzles are brain dead easy. Like, for real, is following a ghost to a pedestal or using lightning magic on 3 rocks labeled with lightning, are those puzzles? No.
Never mind, I won't stand by that statement. Look, what I'm trying to say here is that Sky took a very different approach to marketing the game. An approach that worked, mind you, but made these weird null areas where people have never heard of this game. And I know that one of those reasons for it is that Sky was released strictly to mobile devices first. Clearly didn't flunk without the aid of consoles, but it certainly would have helped. But because TGC developed Sky to work specifically and only for the Apple, it was a slow burn to add the game to other platforms. The only remark that remains is, what's the game like on other consoles? I've already shared my 2 cents about Sky on the Android and the Switch, but at long last, the game has survived to the PlayStation 4. Surely, there'll be no performance issues to complain about. Yesn't. Okay, so most of my opinions up to this point, I've tried my best to support with evidence. This opinion doesn't have that. I was just about to rag on Sky for not being able to perform on the PS4 the same way that it does on the iPhone, but this is the recorded gameplay, and this is Sky on the iPhone. Huh? No, this is a lie. While the PS4 runs this game leagues better than the Switch, I still see a struggle in high polygon areas. I can say this because it runs perfectly at 60 FPS in the area right before Sanctuary Islands, and once I get there, the frame rate is close to halved. But the recorded result doesn't pick this up? What? So, the PS4 can handle this game no problem, but for whatever reason, the image that I'm receiving as the game is running isn't what it should be. This is as far as my knowledge about game development can take me. This scenario is too complex for me to explain it coherently, so in a way, Sky has its full performance capabilities on the PS4. Well, good job TGC, the game can run on a console that has nearly 2 teraflops of GPU. You did it. There's no way for me to show you how the game actually runs, I'll just take the loss in this one. But don't think that I don't have any more bones to pick with you. You heard the montage music starting. Scrolling through all the emails to the right stick can be pretty painful. There's no extended favorite email list, and actually, can we talk about how dumb the recent emote section is? You can only give a maximum of 6, which is nowhere near enough for people like me. Why can't you just make your own favorite emote section so you always know where they are, rather than having to look to receive 92 emotes? Not only would that be a good quality of life update in general, it would work wonders for console users. God help you if there are multiple friends close to you, and you need to select the one person who's trying to give you a hug. Why are the candles so damn annoying to light? Let me explain what's happening here. The moment I'm about to light this candle, the prompt switches to another one that's in a stack. During that switch, the game won't accept any inputs from me, so my character doesn't do anything. This may sound precise, but it can happen multiple times in a row, and it really breaks the flow of my candle runs. 2 console games later, and you still cannot do sharp turns. Why? What is stopping you guys from implementing this? You can do aileron rolls by holding the top right trigger button, but it doesn't make you turn faster. Why is this mobility exclusive to mobile users? Mobility. Typing already sucks on both consoles, even more on the PS4 since there's no touchscreen. Best you can use a touchpad. I don't expect a fix for this, but why does the game save you a message if you cancel it? You'll always be pressured to commit sending the message or just trashing it completely. But why did they get rid of manual tripping? Correction, it's not gone, they just made it less funny. The only way you can trip now is by jumping, then doing an emote that locks your position. If you're flying or floating, you won't trip from the emote. This is like the hidden emote that everyone knew about. You could use it in any situation you want, and it'll always be funny. And I was a special user of this. I can no longer instigate Uber crash that kills a party of 5. Why go out of your way to fix these blessings when things like this are still in the game? What the hell is this not layout? Why did they get rid of the original one? The original wasn't great either, but at least it made sense. Until they added the console button layout. I know there exists some semblance of sense in the layouts of the PS4. I tried them all myself. As someone who played Synth for a while, I hated it. But I see where they were going with it. It's just not... Let me explain my dilemma. Okay, tell me what G is.
Huh?
Sorry, the 5th note. It's this one, right? You went left to right to notice that this is the 5th key. Good. I hope. Alright, now tell me what the 5th note is on this layout. Or this one. Or this one. You see my problem here? As someone who's so used to the original layout, my way of processing notes here just doesn't work. Even if you do know where the 5th note is, its position is changed in nearly every layout. I know that this argument is kinda unfair since button controls and instrumental notes never mix well. It's very hard to get right, but it still upsets me that I pretty much had to relearn every song that I played here. I don't know why, but the audio gets real crusty when I'm typing a message in-game. Every now and then there's an occasional lag spike. Once again, I have no evidence to support this, as the PS4 recording software doesn't seem to capture that. But let me know if you guys have seen hiccups in your gameplay. Without touchscreen, there's no button to cancel your active spells. The achievements can eat my ass. Do I need to say what's wrong here? And there you have it, an arbitrary number that represents the things wrong with this game on console. I finally made it through all the talking points, and it's taken far too long to get here, so I can't put much more effort into wrapping this up all neatly. If I had to draw another goddamn still of myself. Sky, despite everything I've said about it, it's great. If it's one thing that this game will deliver, it's a great time with the friends that you make. Nearly 2 years into my time playing this game, I still find it fun dicking around to new players that I occasionally come across as I'm candle running. It's very good at distracting me from the monotonous tasks that the veterans are all too familiar with. The friends that I made here are amazing. Most valuable player is Semi, who has provided me with the supplementary Apple footage and Sky videos that she has made. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching this video. I don't want every video I make to take this long. This is ultimately a learning experience on how to edit efficiently. A lot of the things you saw here was the first time I've done it, if you couldn't tell. But it's all for the better. My next video should have nothing but improvement waiting for it. See you then! Trademark.